Let me see here. Was it this way? I think it was this way, because the way the landscape is very different, because you can transition biomes really randomly. That did, in fact, make things particularly cool as well, but it also made things kind of a little wacky, and not where you couldn't like logically say, well, this biome should border this biome. It was kind of the opposite. It's just like total lack of biome logic back then. But at the same time, that did make it where all you had to do was keep going along coastlines and stuff in a boat for a while, and then you'd eventually find something. Now this is my old canyon that I'd use. I did a lot of mining here. As you can see, I also have had struggles everywhere in this biome of trying to keep water liquid. So the classic water vader technique, even that takes a little adjustment to be able to get to work. So yeah, I mean, it's one of those things. So hello there. Let's see, which way was I? I was going this way-ish, I think. Really wish I could have found my old coordinate sheet, because it had a lot of my good stuff on it. I mean, I might still find it. There's various reasons why I've been writing down important information like that for a while, especially coordinates, is partially for moments like this, but for some odd reason I can't seem to find that one. It is one of my oldest ones, admittedly, too, so it might have gotten buried somewhere. Hey, everybody. There's a sheep, and here is the desert. And again, you wouldn't, in these days, find deserts this close to icy biomes. The transition would just be way too fast. Okay, now... Okay, so I just need to find where I have everything. I think I have to go past this hill to find my old village. I think I do. I can remember going up the desert hill and down again and all that jazz. I know I'm getting close whenever I see some of my old traps and stuff that I was experimenting with. Or grinders, etc. But yeah, whenever you need some cactus, a desert is always the best way. Or was this a bunker? I'm trying to remember, was this a bunker or was this a grinder? Transition both ways. I think this was a variation of grinder. Oh, I think I remember where this is. This is one of the... Yeah, this is one of the dungeons I had that I found, and I was manipulating it into a grinder, just to, whack various creatures. So I had myself areas where I could strike through, using a bit of cobblestone wall and stuff. Something that, again, wasn't even there whenever I started out. So this was another time where I was using a world to experiment with, as well as to just kind of play around with. Okay, yeah, there's my first village coming up. Definitely a good thing to show. This was awesome back in the day, because it was whenever I'd found my first village, and then after they did the big 1.3 trading system update, they made it so that all current villagers would be able to use the new system. So they were all able to go into being able to give you various trades and stuff like that. And because they all had at least some initial trade to allow for selling stuff to them, then you could always have ways of making yourself a bit of money. And I need to find where my old stuff is, because this guy's got a diamond helmet, which is always good. Could make money with wool. So this is my first village, and as you can see, I expanded it. Like, you don't normally see a village laid out like this. not naturally. So I expanded it quite a bit, giving them a whole lot more areas to consider for doors and stuff like that. Nowadays, you wouldn't be able to use this technique because you also need to feed them a lot. They also don't disturb your crops. Or their own crops. Like, they don't farm, basically, is what I'm trying to say. But in this version, they won't really bother with their crops, so you can just use them to build up stuff to trade with them. And everything is fine that way. Here's a little feature that I had. Remember how I said I had all sorts of farms all over the place? Well, here's another chicken farm. It's made mostly out of sheared leaves with a bit of vine instead of ladder. It have a nice solid area. So yeah, they're it's just kind of a nice casual chicken farm. They just help out. I think it looks nice actually. So it's just a good chicken farm. But the big thing is over there. I think I had to repair this area after a creeper explosion while I was right back from the nether. But this is where I usually would grow trees to get wood for improving the village. Nom 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 nom. But yeah, this is a good spot. I always did love my first village. I took pretty good care of it. I mean, this is whenever I quickly found out that testificates were kind of my peeps. So I just hang out with them and trade with them, do stuff. Maybe expand their farms a bit to help with commerce. So yeah. In fact, I kind of need to grab myself some extra watermelons while I'm here. Yoink. Because I do need to make sure that I have food to continue my journey. Because I can't really do it in creative, because I can't really just pop on the codes, because back then that was kind of a... I mean, it's kind of an all-or... Well, there is another way to do it, but I don't know if I can in this version. Because, again, there's a lot of things that they changed over time. It's kind of an odd little farm that way. Oh, they're regrouping. Okay, I need to quickly find where did I base myself out at. Nope, not there. I think... Oh, yeah, I think it was my vine building. I need to find that. There we go. Yep. Okay. I use the vines for quick transitions. And very natural. So. There we go. Tools and vehicles. Oh yeah, good stuff. But yeah, I had some extra stoof around here. May swap out while I'm here. Because I may need something a bit better. Oh yeah, my awesome bow. Of course, it's not as awesome as a lot of the bows I've been having these days. But hey, it's a decent bow. I had a lot of my stuff over here. Including some iron. Let's see, I still need boots. So yes, I'll go ahead and use some of that old iron. Hey there, citizen. Everything working out fine? I made it where a lot of them could path around in various ways, so they can kind of find their way around here. 3 emeralds for bookshelf. Not sure about that one. Now 18 wheat for emeralds and 14 chicken. Those are good. Oh yeah, I had my trading chest. I have 35 emeralds. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I kind of went crazy with the trading system and was able to make quite a profit. Still can do that whenever I'd like, actually. It's just one of those things that I've been good at. As I said, they're kind of my homies, so I know how to work their system. I really do. But yeah, as part of my little improvement project, I put up a few portraits so that they could feel nicer about the area. But yeah, I had all sorts of improvements to the village. But another big deal is, of course, my pyramid of knowledge. I'm trying to remember if I actually did my... I thought I used to have a beacon up there. Did something happen? I'm trying to remember if I had to do something. But either way, this is where I added a lot of the classically more special vanilla blocks that were functional. Like my Pyramid of Knowledge is basically built as a pyramid burrowed into the ground with another pyramid on top of that, another one inverted and built on top of that, and then on top of that is like my area for my my beacon pyramid, which I don't know what happened to the beacon. Was one of the transitions an issue? I don't know. Got my brewing stuff here. And more potions that I can use. And various ingredients for brewing them up. I have some nether wart left. Although not much. I have myself another cobblestone generator. Got myself another one of my ender chests. That was kind of a big deal when they happened, because it allowed you to move stuff from base to base quickly. So, it was kind of convenient that way. And if I hop up this way, I can get up to my little laddering area, and yep, another enchantment room. That's what I put up in this one, is another major enchantment room with the anvil, which was very happy whenever they added. Even back then, I'd already seen some mods and some of the stuff they had, so I thought it was really cool that they had something to allow you to repair and preserve your items. So, yeah, that was something that I was really happy whenever they added it. And later on, of course, enchanted books, enchantment sorting, all sorts of other stuff. So that was a big deal whenever it was added. So yeah. But I used to get back and forth more by doing pillars. So normally I'd create a pillar up there, and then I think I was in transition of making the beacon. I think that's it. I don't know if I actually had my wither fight in this world yet. So I'd have to still do that, because I think I was preparing for it, and that's where most of my iron went, is trying to make that. So, yeah, it's one of those things that kind of goes there. I might still have that wither fight in this world at some point. I mean, I know I beat the Ender Dragon around here at some location. So, yeah, I think I'll go on deeper into the desert and see if I can find my old spot. So I think if I kept going this way, then I'd find some of my old stuff. Oh yeah, I also used to mark things more often with giant arrows made out of blocks like cobblestone. In case you're wondering, that arrow pointing the way is because it's going to an important location. Means, yes, run this way. Even if you have to go through a bit of water to do so. Okay. Yep, more arrow. That says so. I don't remember seeing my horse over in that other area. I know I have one somewhere in this world. I just don't know where I parked my horse. That would make this so much more convenient, is if I remembered where did I park my horse. I think it's because the transitions, there was a moment where you could only get horses by having new chunks, so that made trying to get an actual horse very tricky and required a lot of going out to get to. So yeah, that made that quite a transition. Okay, I can see my forest base that way. I used to have bases more spread out, but they've made travel in both like vanilla and modded so much easier, so it's kind of easier to get back to a central base these days than it used to be. So it's no longer as big of a deal to spread them out. Of course, always having one close to spawn's a good idea. That way, if you get clobbered and your bed's obstructed or something else happens, you'll be there. So, yeah, it's just a way of directing it in. Okay. Now, was this where I had stronghold? So it might be that way. I mean, that goes pretty deep. I think it might. This is an old variation of a mob trap I'd use. This allowed me to get a skeleton on one side and a creeper on the other, and I could gun them down. It has a lot of redstone under there and some sticky pistons and stuff, but basically, if one of them stands on top of a pressure plate, they set it off. they extend around it, trapping it inside, and then all I have to do is be just the right distance so that the skeleton aggroes on me and shoots the creeper to death with arrows, and then I wind up receiving a music disc. So that's how I got all my random discs, is I used this old school version of a CD farm. Nowadays, you can just use a poison arrow. But it's really changed, and this is my forest base. I used to make things extra visible, just cause. And so I built it out of netherrack because it contrasted as much as possible with the forest around it. Okay, I have a pretty good amount of supplies built up here. Oh yeah, I somehow transitioned my file back and forth. There used to be a trick whenever you were doing things where you could actually change the you could actually swap out the file data. And I don't know if you can even do that these days the way they've changed it, but I was doing some creative testing features, so I wound up getting myself some spawn eggs, and I kind of just left them there the whole time. So that's kind of why they're there, is I was transitioning back and forth. Again, I don't even know if I can do that now. It was kind of a tricky operation in the first place and very risky, and that may be why my dogs forget me. So, yeah. There used to be that kind of thing where you could do that. But that was kind of pretty much the one thing I was doing, is I was testing out how to get the CD farm to work in the first place. And then after that, I just lured them in. I only really needed to use one of these each to know that it worked out fine, and after that I just left the stack. So it's one of those things where you're just going, forget about that. But that's perfectly fine. I mean, there's a lot of testing back in the day, because they had a harder time updating the game, so a lot of things were a lot more crazy. So you had to give them a lot of feedback. So yeah, testing out things like that was just part of the game. Still is, actually. So I may have those around from other testing. But yeah, this is my big forested area. I'm trying to remember if the stronghold is anywhere around here, or if it really is one of those deep holes. And what do I have there? Because I know I have a few connections in the nether for various reasons. I think I'll pop down, actually, and go through this one, because I know that at least one of these leads to my stronghold. No, this one's leading to my major area. Again, I had a lot of testing stuff I was doing. But this leads to my first major... Oh, yeah, that's right. Did leave my chainmail here. Took forever to get that stuff in the first place. That was all legit. Without even doing testing and stuff. But yeah, this was like one of my first major mine shafts, and I think this is where I started having a mob farm and it was from a spider dungeon, like a... or something. No. Oh yeah, that's where I was... back in the day, you used to actually be able to copy monster spawners. So whenever I was doing creative testing, I was actually able to do that. I think nowadays you only get the spawn egg, so that's another thing that changed. And I also gave myself some sponge just because it was useless back then. Again, one of those things that was from like shifting files whenever you could do it that way. So there's a lot of crazy stuff I was testing. So I was using this world multi-purpose. It was for survival, it was for creative testing, it was a lot of things. So it was just my first world where I was doing all sorts of stuff with it. But yeah, this was where I had a lot of my first experiences in a mine shaft. And I believe I had an area where there was in fact a cave spider spawner, and I was using it to... oh yeah, that's where I left some seeds in there. Way back in the day. I don't think I ever picked them out. I think this was just a regular chest back then. But nowadays, chests have been replaced with minecarts with chests, so you don't see this anymore. It's something that you used to get pretty far back in Minecraft. It used to be like this, where you just find a regular loot chest. Just like this one. I guess that's one I just never really looted. Like, I may have had it, but I don't think I ever actually looted it before. I just kind of left it as is, because I probably already had all the seeds I needed, so I was just going, in case I need some later, I can just go ahead and leave that there. Lampus. Always nice to see. But yeah, maybe the other area went down to the special spot. Because I know that I had found myself a cave spider spawner at some point, and it was one of the first times I made a mob farm. Partially because I kind of could, and that was before I found out I had some more convenient locations around me that I could use. Like some easier dungeons and stuff, but so until then it was kind of a bit different story. And is this going? Nope, that's just water. So yeah, I had a lot of things that I did back in the day, and that was just with a vanilla world and vanilla testing. All sorts of stuff, actually. But again, good times. Zombie walking around there. Does he know I'm here? Probably not. But yeah, this is a good old spot to remember. My first major... My first major mine shaft. Mine shaft. Totally a mine shaft. But yeah, I lit this place up great. Had a ton of torches. I do think that's... Okay, Some good stuff left in there. Okay. But yeah, it's been a long time. I think I'll probably be able to settle things off soonish, actually. Because I've been around here for a while. And I can get myself up to the surface at some point. But yeah, it's just nice being able to remember this place. So it's been a good area, way back. But yeah, this has been nice to be back to after all this time, including my mine shaft here, monument tree, the village. It's just the whole area has just been really good to get back to. I have a lot of things that were later on. I think I remember that nether portal actually being used in a nether jump. Like I think I jumped off from there, and then I went a pretty good distance. And I think I led myself off to, like a really good distance. Like I think I went pretty darn far. But that may have been also how I got to like one of the witch huts that I found. So I think I made myself a path in between through the nether. I think that's how I got there. I think I used to take the nether portal. I think that's where it was, because I know I had a transitional area like that somewhere. Just trying to remember where it was. I think that might have been it. I think it may have been the one that I had just outside. Of course, right now I think I'm lost. Because it's been a long time. So just remembering where all I was back then is a bit of a trick. Oh wait, I think... maybe this way? Because again, it's been a while. Okay, I'm probably gonna leave it off here while I search around and see if I can find my way back out, because it has been way too long, and these areas are already kind of tricky enough to remember through, let alone whenever it's been years. So, what was I thinking? Probably was just going for it. Wait. Well, I know I'd been there. I could tell where I was, even if I can't tell where I'm going right now. Oh my gosh. This was one of the bigger ones, actually. This was one of the bigger mine shafts. You don't really see them this large very often. So this was just random. So I can see why I'm having issues here, because it's randomly one of the best ones, and I happen to be there. Oh wait, is this the area? Looks kind of like the area. It does vaguely look like the area that I cordoned off for attacking cave spiders. So I think I may have ran into it, and I think they're just not powered up yet, because it does take a little while for spawner to work. I think I just haven't seen them in there because it's going to take them some time. So, yeah. I think that's what's going on. I think I just ran right by the area that I used to farm them at back in that time. So, yeah, that's probably what's going on. Yeah, I am totally lost. Okay, well anyhow, this is Glitch Reaper, and if I ever get out of here, I will show off more of my world that I have around here, because this was my first one, and it has been so long. It's just been so long since I was there in the first place. So, yeah. I mean, it really is kind of like exploring it new, so. That goes in all sorts of directions, including apparently getting lost in all those directions. Yeah, oops. Oh well. So, this has been Glitch Reaper, and I've been showing off my first world for a while now, so I guess I'll be logging off. Hope to hear from back later, as well as find out where in the world I went. So I guess this will be bye for now, and yeah, just bye for now, everybody.